What's the one part of your hobby that you hate doing? Running is my hobby, but somehow the answer about the part one hate is still running. I love photography. I am not a fan of publishing and promoting my work. Editing, sure. Taking the pictures, love it. But finding ways so people can see them and appreciate the artwork? I hate the social media dance. I do photography at popular motorcycle locations and the promotion is very easy. They all come with watermarks as majority of the photos raise money for a charity weeks ago. One guy tried to knock me down for a bigger discount when they were told no. He bought one, took the other, edited the watermark out and claimed he'd paid for both. I'm torn between suing him or letting him get away with it. Paying for it? Changing guitar strings! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Asterisk sucks asterisk. Asterisk reef tank. Water changes, more specifically, lugging water home from the fish store. Asterisk D&D, scheduling. Asterisk board games, remembering rules to games I haven't played in a while. I have too many hobbies. These are only the top 3. Edit. Thought of one more, getting to the fishing spots. Cooking, but not the dishes. Sometimes I choose what to cook based on how many dishes there will be after. Knitting, crochet. I hate sewing it together, so I usually do it in one piece if I can. I hate weaving in ends too, but there are hacks for that too. Getting stuck 10k plus km away from home when the wind dies. The sailing. I'm a singer and guitarist in a 3-piece rock band and I hate marketing us and trying schedule gigs. I've found most of our owners are difficult to work with. I love skateboarding, but cleaning my grip tape feels futile. I mean, it technically is, but that doesn't make it any better. My hobby is writing, so I hate the fact that I suffer from writer's block so frequently. I have vivid pictures of how I want my story to turn out, but transferring my thoughts onto my laptop is a literal battle. I brew beer. Removing labels from used bottles is a massive bore. Yes, I've heard of kegging, thanks. Waiting in lobbies. Runner here. I actually really hate running. Fortunately, my hatred for running is outweighed by how much I like the runner's high I get when I'm finished. I love to draw and make art, but the hardest part is staring at the blank page and not knowing WTF to do. Sometimes it can discourage me, and so I feel like I don't do art enough due to that. Love gardening, but those dang bugs ruin everything. It's the weeds for me. Just moved into a flat, and the shared garden is more like a jungle. 7 black bags of nettles. Brambles that resemble a giant beanstalk. I'm getting there though. White cabbage butterflies laying those green bastards on my brassicas. Nearly lost my Brussels sprouts this year. This year we got some netting. Take that, cabbage butterfly. Can't lay eggs if you can't get to the plant. Meanwhile, some other pest has moved in. Maybe I'm just not meant to grow cauliflower. Love polishing my rod but hate the cleaning up. I'm an archer. Changing strings and cables throws everything off, no matter how close I am to specs. BJJ, you can feel like you haven't improved in a year of doing it for hours every week. Nerf modding. Dealing with people who tell me that if I want a hard shooting toy gun I should get an airsoft gun. Also, gatekeeping and hating on popular things are growing as the hobby grows. Lego dusting. I like to Photoshop pictures when I get an idea. This means I have to go search and find the right pictures to put it all together. And that often is the worst part of it all, especially when I can't find the right pictures I want. Washing brushes. Cleaning up after myself. I'm a slob. I hate trying to play my video game because kids. Locating dump sites and preparing the shallow graves. As an artist, thinking of an idea. Once I have the idea, I go to town and have a blast bringing the idea to life on my canvas. But creative block makes the process a hurdle from the start. Knitting. Weaving in ends. Seaming. I knit as much as possible in the round to avoid seaming, but it is sometimes a necessary evil. Picking up alpaca shit. Hobby. Racing dirt bikes. Hate cleaning dirt bikes. waxing my skis into the winter and cleaning my motorcycle chain in the summer. Line art. You know what's up. The one I did earlier I hated. Sometimes I just say F it and leave it as a sketch. Hobby. Writing. What do I hate about it? Writing. Same. I can come up with plots, settings, characters. Heck, I even create scenes inside my mind. But putting them into words feel like a chore. There's a Hemingway quote out there that's something along the lines of, I hate writing. I like having written. That's how I feel about woodworking. I love doing exterior in Minecraft. I usually get someone else to do interior though. I make resin D&D dice and the worst part is cleaning up after the cast comes out of the mold. Cleaning up rough edges and flashing from the sprues. Leveling the bed of my 3D printer. For bodybuilding, I hate having to calculate the calories and macros when I cook something from scratch. As a data guy, I should probably create a spreadsheet to do all of the calculations for me. Cleaning my brushes and palettes. I hate cleaning up. No problem keeping my house neat and tidy every day, but for some reason putting away all the paint and cleaning the tools sucks. Even the cleanup from gardening sucks. Baking. Cleaning up afterwards expressionless. Just giving replies and replies every single moment on social media. It irritates while I'm working. Dismemberment. Is cannibalism a hobby? Coiling my climbing rope. It's such a chore. Ugh. I feel this on a spiritual level. I have an 80 meters rope, and there are times I get halfway through coiling it, and I'm tempted to just tie a noose and hang myself with it instead. It'd probably be less painful. And don't forget organizing and sorting out the rack for a big multi-pitch. The making music part of making music. I'm a snowboarder. The long backcountry hikes and traversing can be annoying depending on the weather. Building the second leg. Paying for gasoline. I'm really into sketching. Love inking and coloring. Pencil work, not so much. Archery, the kit maintenance, setup and packing away. I love making game prototypes. All the legwork to actually finish something sucks balls. Lego. Spending an hour finding that one piece you need. Baking. Waiting. Ice skating. The blisters. Just started needlepoint. I hate threading the needle. Writing is mine. What I hate. Creating up the plots. Editing. Remembering every minute detail and showing people my work. I hate changing my guitar strings. I play both the drums and the guitar. Tuning both is a pain in the ass. Drums in particular. Guitar is only a pain when changing tunings. Tuning floor toms are the worst. So many unwanted overtones and you have to get rid of as many as possible by basically trial and error while keeping a nice even tone with a good amount of sustain but not too much. There usually comes a time where I just decide that it's good enough. Yeah, I really only play for my own pleasure. So, it's good enough is usually my approach. Sue. I sing, play drums, piano and bass, but I hate practice. I want to learn more instruments, but the time, it takes up so much time. I like to read and sometimes the worst thing is starting a new book. Some authors like to give a lot of background before things actually start. I also play the clarinet. I love playing in concerts, but I hate actually practicing. Or when you are continuing a series and the first couple chapters are almost word for word. Background info from the precious books. I'm looking at you, Stephanie Plou, Monsieur. Writing the amount of time it takes when you have a limited amount of time to do it. Video games, exact same reason. Putting the thread through the needle. The warm-up before playing basketball. I always feel like a complete dickhead when doing stretches, but they say you must, so I do. I also play a lot of chess and I absolutely hate the online community. You just can't play a longer game online. It's rife with poor sportsmanship. You have to settle for blitz bullet, but these are my least favorite time controls. Finally, I'm a data hoarder. I keep movies, series, porn, music, video games, etc. that I've watched and enjoyed. I absolutely hate running out of space. And also hate losing track of where I've saved what. I suck at organizing. Scuba diving, putting on wet wetsuits. Doing 5 dives a day is amazing. All you do is dive and eat. But putting on a wet wetsuit 4 times after the initial dive is a total ball ache. I love playing disc golf, but I'm not a fan of backpacking the discs around. I love martial arts and combat sports. For some reason people, more specifically coaches, who've been part of the sport community for a long time often have beefs with each other. This hinders progress, cross-gym training, social media advertisement, among other stuff. Martial arts and combat sports are awesome. Why do coaches act like children between each other? I get that they have a business to run, but damn. The come down, zippers, seamstress. My hobby is cars, and it's a cliche answer to say paying for it, but cars are so expensive that I can't really do a whole lot to my cars because I can't afford parts. Also, the putting everything back together after finally finding the issue. Just find out there is another issue that you couldn't identify because of the first issue. Woodworking, sanding, missing 3-foot par putts, loading and unloading my kayak from the top of the car, hand sewing. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite part. I would never machine he monsieur. Damn bro, I guess it's fine if you're making small, delicate things, but hand sewing whole garments? Oh hell nah. I enjoy playing my vinyl record collection. It's one of my favorite things to do if I have a quiet night in. If I had to say my least favorite part, it would be intensively cleaning the records, but I'd rather have a record still sound brand new, rather than it crackling because I didn't care for it properly. Plus carrying my record collection around can be a bit heavy. I collect and build keyboards. It's fun as hell, but the money you have to fork over to get parts is insane. Avid bowler, loading and unloading all the bowling balls into and out of the car. It sucks. Bandaging the cuts on my arm from the props on my drone. Removing a sweaty bra. I've played American football for almost 10 years now, and the injuries are the worst part. Squeezing my breasts into the shoulder pad is a close second place because even the very few existent women's shoulder pads are a bit small. Hobby, board games. Downside, finding people to play with after university. Modifying cars, washing, waxing, polishing Suaks. Practicing. Having to sleep in between because my hobby takes too long. Also the back pains, even though I am a teen. Paying for it? Hobby, tennis. I hate the pain that can come with it, especially lower back pain. As I've gotten older, I've gotten much better with preparation and stretching. But damn, I miss the days when I could just play without worrying about injury. Hate number 2. I live in NYC and I hate how it's so difficult to get a court in a nice day. I have a simple solution for you. Table tennis. I do love table tennis as well and play often. Don't love it as much as tennis though, but it's a close second. Hobby, running. Worst part, inevitable knee pain that can be crippling for weeks at times. Crocheting, weaving the ends in. Do it as you go guys, or it's so bad. Especially on big projects with lots of color changes. Slacklining is my hobby, but I hate packing and unpacking my gear. I'm a bladesmith, knife maker. Hand sanding blades to get them to a high grit polished finish is very tedious. Ringing the dealer. Waiting for the next game to come out. Good news is I have so many games I like, I usually don't have to deal with waiting. RC. I hate it when something breaks and needs replacing, and I either can't get it yet because the hobby shop is closed or I need to wait for it in the mail. Losing body pins is a pain too. Cardistry, collecting cards after failed attempt. Scale modeling. Tiny parts are so annoying and cause me to procrastinate the most. Some 1/144th scale parts are just so frustrating to even snap together, let alone detail, customize. My hobby is drawing. I just hate doing it in front of others or if someone criticized something that I did on purpose. Wrong. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.